So, of course, Yuri Prochazka was the lightweight champion. He beat Glover Teixeira, but he needed to vacate that title, a pretty serious shoulder injury. So what do you make of him vacating the title? Some might say, hey, there's a little bit of honor in that if he's going to be out for a while. Some might say, maybe not the best decision if you didn't have to. I think maybe you made a deal with the UFC. When you come back, you get a title shot immediately. So what do you think of Prochazka vacating the championship?
I think from the perspective, from the UFC perspective, I think it was the right choice. I mean, vacating the title gives other fighters the chance to fight for the title, especially if Prochazka is going to be out for a long time because of a serious injury. And as far as I can tell, it's going to take a while with his shoulder injury to get back into the game. So I think it was the right call to vacate and let other fight for the belt.
Okay, so what about the other side of the story? Glover Teixeira, some people saying he got completely screwed over here. This is a guy, he doesn't have too many fights left. One of the fights of the year he had with Prochazka, and he was supposed to fight him in the main event. Prochazka pulls out, so you would have assumed that Teixeira would be fighting for the title still. He wanted to fight Jan Blachowicz, but he was offered Ankalaev apparently, and he didn't want that fight. So two sides to the story here a little bit. Do you think Teixeira got screwed over a little bit?
I mean, it's hard to tell, but it's definitely not for a better situation for Glover, especially with Magomed Ankalaev. I mean, switching out and facing an opponent like him was not. I don't believe stylistically that's a good matchup for him. So sitting out and letting Jan Blachowicz and Magomed Ankalaev have a fight and see who's going to be the UFC champ, and then maybe even stepping in afterwards, having a shot at the title might actually be the best thing for him, especially with the situation and how everything turned out.
Yeah, you'd have to assume he'll be next in line here, not a real definitive number one contender after this championship fight plays out on Saturday night. So let's get to the picks. Who's going to be the champion here at the end of the pay-per-view on Saturday night?
If I'm going first, Joe, I have Magomed Ankalaev on decision. I do believe he's going to beat Jan Blachowicz over a course of 5 rounds. I think he has what it takes in the stand-up and also his grappling and wrestling. Coming from Dagestan, we all know it's legit. So I have Magomed by the decision.
Mark, I'm going against you here. And a lot of this, I don't disagree that he's the better fighter, but I kind of disagree with the odds here. So I think that there's good value on Blachowicz because I think that this fight is closer than these odds indicate. And we see Blachowicz as a guy who's constantly undervalued here throughout his career. And we're getting here a plus 210. The Polish power, 10-2 in his last 12 fights. And I look at that loss to Glover Teixeira, and I view that as a bit of an outlier in his career over the past couple of years. Meanwhile, I think this is a real big step up for Ankalaev. First big-time pay-per-view main event fight for him. Blachowicz has been here before, great performance versus Israel Adesanya. He's not too far removed from that. So not a whole lot of knocks on Ankalaev, to be fair. But when I just look at the odds, I can't ignore Blachowicz, who's cashed a lot as an underdog, constantly undervalued. So I'll take a shot on him.